One of these. Facebook. Good morning, people. Come on in. Let's get started. This morning, we are a little pressed for time, but we are here today. Um, come on in. Yes, yes, yes,
Yo, what's there?
yes, yes. You got the remote control there? Where did I put it? Excuse me, everyone. Where did I put the remote control? I just had it. Oh. I'm back. Come on in and tag somebody. Share this. Tag it. We need everybody to please share to those who may watch on YouTube. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Please subscribe. We're trying to get our subscribers up so we can do more. We can bring more content. We can bring more educational moments spiritually, naturally, emotionally. We are trying to do our best with the ministry and calling that God has given us with Marriage's Life Reality. So we ask that you please share, like, we ask that you
And subscribe.
subscribe, and we ask that you get involved with everything that we are doing. We are coming live straight to your living room, straight to your phone, straight to your office desk, straight to your minds and hearts, straight to your eye vision. We are here to help you, to educate, to motivate, to elevate your life. We're here today.
Good morning,
Morning.
YouTube. Good morning, TikTok. Good
YouTube,
morning,
we on
Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. We
we
are super
yeah, and
excited.
we are self-sufficient
Team,
moving. We are
we
self.
getting there. We getting there. If y'all help us get there by
Yeah.
subscribing,
Yeah, we can hire
following,
some
liking,
folk.
we can get us a team who can
Yeah, we need to
control the
hire
speaker.
some
Y'all see,
folk.
that's why I be coming in late because I be
Cause we
having to
trying to
handle
run
some things.
everything behind the scenes, front of the scene, on the scene,
We in
beside
the
the scene,
scene.
in
We
the
all
scene.
the
So,
scene. Like
but we
everything
need a
about us.
team. You know what I'm saying? We need a team. Put your applications in. We need a team that will help us grow a little more and get a little sufficient. The more we do this, so we're looking to you know, grow. Anywho, we are here. We the O'Berries, and this is Real Love, Real Talk, Unscripted. Um, this Saturday morning. So
we can bring you marital education, not marital counseling.
yeah,
We
we
are
bring education. We're here to educate.
marital educators,
Yes,
not counselors.
we're not here to counsel you. We're here to bring education, awareness, and to bring everything to the table so that uh, you know what you're going through, somebody else may be going through it as well. So we're here to help each other. But we're on all social media platforms right now. All of them, every last one
Not
of
all
them.
of them.
Which one we know?
We're not on Twitter. It's
Oh,
a few
Twitter don't even
more.
count no more.
Mm-mm.
Who on Twitter?
People, lots of people.
I'm saying, who you know on Twitter?
I mean, I don't, but
I know you don't know about on Twitter.
but we're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as
All
of
social media,
today.
bro. All social media.
The more we grow, the more we go. Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
So, and our motto here at Real Love, Real Talk, if those who are in the room, if your marriage is worth keeping, then it's worth fighting for.
Right.
So I'm assuming if you in this room, you're a married couple or inspiring to be married, you're willing to put in the work and fight for it. So that's what we're here to just help educate, promote, and push and help y'all marriages.
Right.
So come on in. I guess we're gonna go. We gotta get started, y'all, because I got another engagement soon.
Right.
So we
I'm
need
just
to go.
tagging a couple. You good?
So our subject today, our topic today, we're talking about covenant versus conversation.
Yes. Covenant versus conversation.
And y'all know last week we talked about
one-sided, being one-sided.
Oh,
Like,
it's not our world. It's just not about you.
right.
That was our topic was last week. It's not just about you.
You had a moment.
I did. I'm always having those moments, but it's just not about you. And we talked about women expressing to your man and showing him so he can feel comfortable and be able to express his emotions, that it's not just all about the man.
Right.
Women, if we kind of got onto the women because the women are more needy and we just think
Mhm.
it's all about us. And if it's not our way, then it's the highway. But we got to understand that a man has emotions and feelings as well. So
Sure.
that's just a brief synopsis. If you have those issues and you need to self examine yourself and reevaluate, are you being selfish in your marriage? Are you putting your man first or your wife first? That y'all become equal. Take a look at last week's live and go
Right.
back on there. We got several
Mhm.
things going on through that. So if you can, tap in, tap in. But today we're talking about covenant versus conversation.
Right. Covenant
And it's on him.
versus conversation. So this is something I was writing in my car Thursday, and this thinking about what can we talk about, thinking about, marriages for this week, different battles, issues being fought. And so God gave me this main thing that we're dealing with now. I believe in this season and where we're at now is covenant versus conversation. So the covenant we made, we got to realize that when we said I do, when you stood before God and you stood before the altar and you stood before the presence of your company, who are you invited to your wedding or ceremony, you are making a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
But we're realizing that a lot of time we stand up there and we're supposed to be making a covenant, but we're really just having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want y'all to get this. I really want y'all, when you are talking to your spouse and you looking each other in the eye and you saying, I do, in some forms, that was just a conversation, not realizing it was a covenant.
Right.
And your vows, and what the main gist of it is your vows.
Right.
And that's the part that's supposed to hold your marriage together. That's the part you saying I do to, from sickness and health, for rich or poor. See, your vows hit every area of your marriage.
Right.
Your vow don't leave out nothing you won't go through. Your vow don't leave out anything. So when you stood before God and you stood before the priest or you stood before the people, was you having a
Or the
conversation?
judge.
Or the judge, was you having a conversation, or was you making a covenant?
Mm-hmm.
Because once you really define your marriage, is it a covenant or a conversation, that'll really understand what position you're in or your marriage is in.
Mm-hmm.
That it did, because your covenant, you got to realize I made a covenant, first of all, with God.
Right.
I made a covenant with God and I made a covenant with my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And your guests just sealed the covenant because they are your witnesses. That's why in order to get married, you got to have a witness, because they just seals the marriage. They seal what took place. So that's what we want to talk about today. Are you truly in covenant with your spouse? And when we say covenant, your vows. Because people, a lot of marriages, if you look at the facts and you look at the facts of why most people get divorced, number one is because of money.
Mm-hmm.
But your vows say for
For bad
richer or
for
for
poor.
poor.
Mm-hmm.
So how come the number one thing is to
Oh,
get a
that's
divorce?
good.
So now if you leave because of money or material things, you weren't in covenant. You were just having a conversation.
Mm.
Because now picture y'all up there in front of the judge or the priest or whoever, and you're
Yes.
face to face when y'all talking, or y'all making a bondage, or y'all making a covenant, or was y'all just up there having a conversation?
Mm.
Because what you're going through in your marriage is going to test whether it was a covenant or was a conversation. So we deal first with money. If money issue of you or the lack thereof, how does that or is that damaging your marriage? Because your vows tell you that you're gonna have rich days and you're gonna have poor days. That's why I say for richer or
Or
for
for
poor,
poor.
because it let you know,
And then they
man,
knew it.
it's some days you're gonna be on top. Some days you're gonna have money come through your hand, y'all gonna be living good. And then some days, man, it's gonna be we rubbing nickel together to figure out how to do this. Seasons change. But when seasons change, you ain't supposed to change. When seasons change, why your love and your marriage is changing? Because we knew this going forward, going into the marriage. This is what you agree for richer or for poor. I really would love for you all to even, speak back to it to and comment on us of what you feel like or understand, as far as your marriage, a covenant or a conversation.
Mm.
Mhm.
No, that was good. That for rich or poor, even stepping into the better or for worse,
Right.
all of that sickness and
Yeah.
health, because you gonna have all of those days.
Hmm.
They gonna come, whether
Right.
you want it or not. They coming.
They coming all those days. So you got to ask yourself, really in a sense of where your marriage is. Just think about your marriage right now. Just think about your marriage, and then think about the covenant you made. Just think about what you said. Think about what you and we be so quick to say I do or I will and all
Right,
this
and now
here.
understanding you wasn't just talking to your spouse, you was
Right.
talking to God as
You were
well,
talking
and
to
that's where
God.
that covenant come into play.
Right. So you're sitting here and you're talking. Some of you all that we're watching is really your marriage is on the rocks, and you looking like, man, I'm leaving. I'm dealing with this here. But think about when you walk away from your spouse, you're just not walking away from your spouse or your marriage. You're walking away from your promise and covenant you made to God. You're breaking your covenant. That's why we say divorce is not an option, because one thing I cannot do is break a covenant I made with God. First of all. So before you ever got into it, that's why we even though we didn't do it at the beginning of our marriage, but we highly recommend you do premarital
Counseling,
counseling or
yes,
education,
yes, yes.
because you got to know what you're getting
Get into
into.
absolutely,
I think that's the
absolutely.
failure of our marriages today, because we really didn't know what we was getting into.
Hmm.
I think now, especially our generation, that's really talking to our generation, to the fact that we got into things because it was a cliche thing to do. Child, I'm getting married, he love me and all this here. Not
Hmm.
realizing what that means, not realizing the depths of what marriage is really is. Because let truth be told, y'all got to understand, marriage is a work. Marriage
A daily
is
work.
a everyday work. Marriage is a job. Marriage is a work. You got to put in work to get something out. If you want a paycheck, if you want something to come out of this thing, you got to put something in it. You cannot be lazy dealing with your marriage. You cannot be a lazy spouse. You cannot be a
Mm-hmm.
lazy husband or wife. You cannot be lazy when it comes to your marriage. Your marriage is an everyday work. Whether you're thinking, whether you're doing, whether you're talking, communicating, whether you're handling business, whether you're paying bills, everything is a work to better your marriage, to get it from where it's going. And but it all starts with your covenant. So it says for rich or for poor, for better or for worse.
And Rob, being honest, she said I believe when I first got married, it was conversation, but as of today, it's most definitely a covenant. I did not know what I was getting into.
Right, right. It was a conversation. You got it there because it was pretty. And to get what too, a lot of us got married because we had done invested a whole lot into the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
When you really was going through the wedding stage, how y'all communicated and fuss and argue about colors and all this stuff, that let you know then how your communication, how this thing was going to go. You saw signs or red flags, as we say, even in the process of the wedding. But when you feel like you so invested, I done spent my money, I done got the cater, I done picked the date, and you don't want to look like a fool in front of everybody else because our image now. So a lot of us is in the marriage simply because of the image, because you ain't want nobody to say, I told you not to do it.
Right.
So you don't want nobody to think that this and
Saying
that.
that
Like
I
our
knew.
image is so deadly that
Mm-hmm.
it makes us suffer because we care about what people say.
Mm-hmm.
You're suffering inside, you're suffering things
Internally.
internally because of what other people will say. And a lot of times, you let you be told, it was a conversation. Did you truly feel like you can handle what you was agreeing to? And I always looked at it just like a job. When we apply for a job, we didn't look at all what they was asking us to do. We
We
looked
looked at
at
the
what they was
pay.
paying us and the benefits.
That's it.
You did not read what this job require you to do this and do that. You ain't really looked
The
in.
training that you got
You
to put
ain't
in. You
looked
had to
into
put in the
what
work.
you needed a job. You needed, and they were saying they're gonna pay you this. The hours was great and the benefits. And when you looked into that, you signed up for it. And then when you got on the job, oh, you mean to tell me I'm mandatory overtime? That was in the fine print.
Mm-hmm.
That what you said I do to. What you mean? Shifts gonna change. I'm swing shift. Yeah, that was. See, but we only look at the money. We don't look at the
The
benefits.
glitz
A
and
lot
the
of times we look
glam,
at the
like the
benefits, not
image.
we look at the benefits, not looking at the work.
Mm.
And that's how it is in our marriage. Did you look at the benefits and didn't look at the work? That's how I vow. That's how that conversation goes. That's how you know if you did it for a conversation or if you did it for your covenant. So for rich or for poor, for better or for worse, for sickness
And in health.
and in health. And guess what, y'all? I'm realizing, and I'm doing a lot of talking because she said I got to lead this today. Just so y'all know,
This
this
was his
this is a
subject and topic.
conversation.
Listen.
Anyway, so
I'm here.
so I realized too, Rob, that sickness is way more than diabetes and all that. Do you know the number one sickness that we're dealing with now, especially in our marriage, is mental? Is mental sickness. Our minds is at a I won't say a bad place, but our mind fluctuates up and down. We deal with more mental illness now than we ever did, and that's a sickness we didn't prepare for. We are prepared to have to put clothes on you. We prepared to have to wash you. We prepared if you get sick down and I got to feed you and stuff. We look at sickness like that. But are you prepared if they were to get bipolar or schizophrenic? Are you prepared for the mental sickness? See, sickness goes beyond just your physical. Some of us are emotional sickness.
Depression,
You
all of that
depressed.
anxiety.
You don't feel love. You don't even see yourself. When you look in the mirror, you don't even see the value of yourself. And so if you can't see the value of yourself, then you definitely can't receive the value from
of your
somebody
spouse.
else.
Or
And,
see it.
or see it. Then if you don't love yourself, you sure enough can't say you love your spouse. And that's a sickness. That's something that plagues the mental sickness or the mental errors in our marriage and in our minds is more deadly than any physical sickness. Sometimes you can't get out the bed, you crying, ain't nothing wrong, but you just crying and you feel some type of way. And even sometimes your sickness causes you to see things that's not even there. Now you assuming. Now you thinking because you're feeling some way and you see this or you see that, and anything you start looking for, you're going to find it because it's going to become what you how you see it. And these are issues. These are issues. That's why I say from a covenant, are you willing to deal? A lot of sickness is insecurities that we deal with in our marriage. We deal with trust issues. That's a mental thing. All that's mental. Trust, insecurity, all that stuff, self-esteem, all that stuff is a mental thing. But a lot of that plays a role in how our marriages are functioning. So once again, did you have a covenant? Did you say if they flip out on me, I ain't gonna leave. I got to work through this thing.
Look, that's what it is. That's what they just said. It means don't dip out when the worst show up because it's coming. That's all I can say. You just got to be prepared to weather the storm and understanding what your vows mean.
What your vows mean, weathering the storm. And for some reason, I don't know. I don't know where we dropped the ball from understanding about storms. Like for some reason, we run from storms when God done equipped us
for the storm
to go through it. Like even church wise, man, people would not come to church if it's raining, but you'll go to work. That the math don't math for me with that, but that's another subject. But realize when a storm comes, let me tell you how good God is. God equipped you to get through every storm because He gave you the necessary materials. He gave you rain boots. See, but the issue is you use your rain boots for fashion. We'll put on some rain boots. Ain't even raining outside, hot outside, but it match your outfit. Not realizing those are war weapons. Those are weapons God given you. That's protection. He gave you rain boots. He gave you an umbrella. He gave you a raincoat. Man, He gave us what the little ponchos and all that stuff. God done giving you all this stuff to get through the storm. We sit here praying, God, we running and hiding. God, like, no, I ain't taking the storm. I brought the storm here for you to use what I gave you because storms make you better. Do you know the number one thing storm do? It make relationships come together. Because we only got one umbrella, and for us to stay dry, we got to connect together. We got to sit up under this thing together. This ain't no you, this me. So that's why fights come because we got one umbrella, but you over there dry and I'm soaking wet. Because I got to go through the storm with nothing because you got everything.
And that's spiritually, emotionally, and physically.
Right.
Physical storms.
That's every
Right.
storm.
Every
He
storm.
gives you what you need, but you got to come together to use it.
And I just was telling somebody about that too, like with the storms. It was more storms, but I was telling them tests.
Right.
Like the test, you can't have a testimony without a test. And in your marriage, like you won't know that you're equipped to get through one until you've been tested and tried to. Once you come out of one storm, and most of us have already been through multiple and multiple, so you already know God done brought you out of that one.
Right.
So what are we tripping for when we getting ready to come in another one?
Right. Right.
So he already done equipped us for it.
He done equip you. Yeah, and test comes to really, I've learned test come to really show, do you mean what you're saying? And he
that
does that
too, because that's like, do you even with the
right.
for better or worse, the sickness and health. Now you done said this before
you
God.
Said it.
Like you done told him for better or for worse, and I'm telling you that job gonna hit you like soon as you say it. That's why now I try to be careful of the words that I say. Some things I say I ain't gonna do, I can't do, and I won't do.
Right.
I be real careful with my word choice because now not only are you saying it to whoever you speaking with, your spouse or whoever it may be. Again, you have made a covenant before God, and you don't put it in the realm. So God gonna test you on whatever you say.
Yes.
Like especially when y'all be looking at other people's marriages, that could never be me. Yeah. That would never be me.
I won't put up with
that. I won't
that.
deal with that.
She's
and all
stupid.
That. And I
He dumb.
You will get be careful
then
with your
soon
words.
Here it comes.
Be careful
and
with
realize
your words.
when you praying, hear me, this in your visualize what is your marriage, even the spiritual life. When you praying to God for something, for you to operate in it, God got to anoint you for it. God will always anoint you for what he has you to do. For every level, there's a new anointing. There's new, every level he got to be, because every level there's a bigger devil.
Ooh,
so the bigger the devil, the more the anointing. But listen to me now, the bigger the devil, the more the anointing. But for God to get more anointing is more crushing. See, everybody want to be anointed, but you got to be crushed first. You got to go through some stuff first. Anointing just ain't the grease we put on our head, and that's the stuff we fry fish with. That's the chicken grease
get the oil.
we put on your head. I'm just being real. You go to Kroger and get a whole bunch of that. Right. Only thing we do is pray over sanctified, but that's the same grease out there in Kroger and all that. Ain't no different in the grease. I could take that same grease and fry chicken with it. So you got to realize, but it's just an outward appearance, a symbol of what God is doing internally in your life. But understand, for you to get more anointed, I want to live this way. I want more money. I want more possessions. I want this. For God to do that for you, he has to have more anointing on you. And for you to be more anointed, you have to suffer. You have to be crushed. You cannot miss the crushing part. So your marriage is going to go through some stuff. Your marriages is going to go through some ups and downs, some heartaches, some pain. Is going to go through some stuff, but God is just get the anointing, because God cannot entrust you with stuff that he can't trust you. God can't entrust if he don't trust you. In other words, he can't entrust you with things if he can't trust you. God will never put you in position if he don't trust you. Look at David. All 7 David brothers came from, they looked like they was kings. God couldn't trust them. Their heart was far from him. He said, look, man, look at the outward appearance, but God judges the heart. Their heart wasn't there. That's 1 Samuel 16. The heart wasn't there. I'm sorry, 1 Samuel 7. The heart wasn't there. The heart was not there. And when he looked at it, he said, nah, them ain't it. But David outside, who he can trust, because David was out there tending to the sheep. He was out there being crushed, fighting tigers, lions, and bears and all that. He was out there. He can trust David. That's how it is. God will never entrust you with all this great stuff if he can't first trust you. And for you to really get that anointing you praying about, and people, man, we get this all the time. Man, I wish our marriage was like y'all. I wish our relationship was like y'all. Man, y'all love each other. Man, we see y'all do everything together. Man, do you want to go through what we go through? That's why you cannot say you want somebody else's life, because you do not know what that person is going through, have been through, and what's holding it together to make it look like what it looked like. Right. That's the most craziest thing for me to say. I want what you have. Nah, I don't want that bill. People like, boy, you ought to have a Lexus. Nah, I don't want that bill. I even been told, they be like, boy, man, you a pastor. You supposed to have a BMW. Nah, man, I got kids, man. Man, a BMW don't fit car seats. I got kids. I don't want that bill. Y'all can beat all that, man. Give me my Honda. Honda burn good on gas. Give me. No, I don't need all that. I'm not, big on that stuff, because I don't want to take on that note. And so that's how it is in your marriage. Did you have a covenant? conversation. But the one of the main things now, when you get past the natural stuff, for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, for sickness and health, but I think the main one that's plaguing and really what God has put on me to really share with you all is that for it says to love and to cherish. I think that's the main.
Okay, I thought you were saying for taking all of this too.
No. I think the main, because before you get to that, you got to really understand this part. He says to love and to cherish. I think that's the number one piece of the covenant that we really don't take full understanding or really let it fully hit our marriage. I don't think we operate fully in a lot of our marriages, especially our young marriages, because we don't understand it. It says to love and to cherish. That means it's two different things. Because you can love something but don't cherish it. See, a lot of us say we love. Yeah, you may love your spouse, but you won't cherish it. Because if you cherish your spouse, certain things you do, you won't do.
That's right.
Certain things you say. If you just take inventory of what you said these last few days to your spouse, if you cherish them, you wouldn't have said that. You wouldn't act the way. And this is where even in our marriage class on Tuesday with our marriage ministry, we talked about respect. Cherishing. When you cherish something, you respect it.
Now you value it.
You value it. And I just like, man, Grandma Fine China, she cherished that thing. She put that thing up in the cabinet where nobody can touch it. It only come out for certain occasions. She put it in such a place where she the only one can reach it. See, when you cherish something, just anything can't get to it. That's why if you really cherish your spouse, can't nobody come to me and tell me something about my wife. And I'm dumb enough to believe it. You can't come to me on the street, man, let me tell you, man, your wife did. I heard your wife, Nah, bro. My wife is to a place. I cherish my wife so high that I can't just let anything come and touch it. That's cherish, or vice versa. You ought to cherish it. Cherish it to the point where it can't get bumped over and broken. That's why the plates, cherishing, let me tell you something about cherishing, man. Them plates were so cherished because they was easily broken, can break. They was fine china, but fine china can't endure a fall. So you got to realize that your marriage, especially in 2025, it can easily be broken because of the world we live in. Man, we never had this much. We never had this much access to other people's lives and knowing what's going on. Like we never. That's why our kids on a whole nother level, because they at a all they gotta do is hit enter and they can see things we never saw at their age. You feel what I'm saying? It's so much access now. That's why it puts our marriage at jeopardy, because when we was coming up, we didn't have access to that. We didn't have all these. Man, I was just talking to one of my friends. I said, I remember one time we had to remember numbers. You had to remember phone numbers. Now, man, please, you just put in your phone and let that
do it.
See how time change. You got so much access now, but you got to cherish. See, you can love it. Yeah, you can say I love you and you love me. Like everybody I got love for you. And then that's a difference. Do you love me or you got love for me? Once again, that's how you define your marriage.
Not taking them for granted.
Not taking them for granted. When you cherish something,
you don't take them for granted. You
right.
Protect their heart. You protect their peace. You already protect it. Something you cherish, like you said, it's a treasure. It's a value. Like it's something you just won't let. We talk about people saying things or doing things. Even you would cherish them to a point where you would be conscious on what you say or what you do. You don't want to hurt your precious value.
Right.
Like you cherish them as if it's just your spouse or your mate is just that precious to you.
Right.
It's Correct. Like a jewel or something. You put it up, you clean it, you shine it, you prep it, you do all these things to your spouse. You even with something you encourage it. That's on the side of your marriage. You encourage him. You speak life over to them. You cherish them. You value the value of them. And then if you know something, when you come to something with value, after you done cherished it for so long, the value increase.
Right.
So that means you get more out of it. It's worth more.
Right.
So that's in your marriage, like your spouse, it'd be worth more. So then at that point, when you get ready to say, I'm gonna throw it away, or you think it's worth too much to even throw away.
Yeah. Yeah. And you gotta remember too, once you clean it up, that's when everybody gonna want it. Now. Ain't nobody want it when it was dirty.
Yes.
Ain't nobody want it. Ain't nobody wanted when it was dirty. It looked like it had no value. But when you took the time
and then
picked it
cleaned it
out
up,
and
and I
cleaned it
did
up,
all of that.
and made it look nice, shiny,
poured it to them. Y'all got the businesses.
you got
Y'all
everything.
upgraded.
Now everybody want it.
Get his hair cut.
Yeah, all this
Fix
stuff.
the teeth. Did all that stuff. People do all that. So I'm just saying,
and I took it from dark skin to light skin, like all that. Yeah, like it just
upgraded them.
You know, upgrade and vice versa. You know,
they didn't want me now. They are. I'm sorry.
But now everybody want it, and that's why you got to cherish it.
You got to cherish.
You got to cherish. You got to make sure that you don't just love it, but you cherish it. Cause that's your relationship. That's your soulmate. That's you. And so, in order for you to really cherish your spouse, you got to cherish your life. You got to cherish what means the most to you. Do everything. What means the most to you, and that's why I would tell y'all, even with your spouse, you got to look past the kids. You can't cherish the kids more than you cherish your spouse, because your kids gonna leave you, but your spouse is there forever. What to death do you part?
That's what I was about to tap on. That to death do
to death do you part. That you once again, because sometimes it ain't even the things that's outside your house. Sometimes a lot of things go on inside your house, like kids and bills and stuff. You gotta cherish your spouse beyond that, because all those things are gonna one day walk away from you. Right. I promise you, man. I love my kids, man, but my kids don't. I don't cherish my kids more than I cherish my spouse. Cause my kids, because my oldest two done showed us that they gonna get on their own. And they gonna go about their business now, bro, and they get their relationships and they boyfriend and girlfriend and put us on the back burner. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you let truth be told, bro, especially when your kids start growing up, they start putting you on the back burner for friends and stuff. That let you know, hey man, they gonna one day leave us. So I can't put them before what's supposed to be eternal to me. I can't put them before what's supposed to last forever for me. And that's even before God. I can't put anybody before God. Because that's my ultimate cherish. But when it comes to my spouse, it's God, then my spouse, then everything else I cut to death. Because that's how it got to, because that's going to come, that's going to go. But knowing, did you make a covenant? Through this all. Now, the last piece of it, once you cherish it, now you saying till death. I love my wife so much that we done went and got 2 burial spots. So when she dies, she's still next to me. We still, even in the grave, we're gonna be next to each other. Same way we sleep in the bed, we sleeping in the grave. To death do us part. To understand we in this thing.
Frustration, not until you bored, not until betrayal,
right?
Not until they done made you mad, not until they done did some things that you just I can't deal with. When you made that covenant,
you that covenant
said until death.
Till death. And then they took the un off it. It didn't say until, it say till. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, like, bro, I'm in this thing. Till, yeah, I'm till. Till mean, bro,
forever and ever.
I'm in this thing forever with my spouse. I'm in this thing till death do us part. And even in that death part, do us part, they talking about the physical. Because when death comes, you still dealing with the mental, emotional. You're still dealing with the memories. You still, especially them older people. We talk to a lot of older people that's widows that been married 40, 50 years. Man, they still married if you ask them. They still married. They ain't moving on. They ain't nobody else out here when they
they took their covenant. Now,
they took their covenant.
Now that's a different. They took their covenant serious.
Grandma them ain't never remarried. They ain't never.
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they ain't.
Papa had a whole nother family over there, and Grandma was
do it
still.
Part. Man, don't bring up Papa. Oh, that's let's stick to the man, cause you going left field now. Let's stick to
it's true. But they stuck to their covenant. They understood what
stick to the party. Don't.
I mean, because all
why you bring up man's side thing, Papa?
I mean, Papa,
that's how all our cousins got here.
But it's true. But I just saying that to say how Grandma them really understood the covenant,
right,
and understood their vows.
But you know, you brought a good part, because you know, back then a lot of times the man, you know, had other families. You know, that was very heavy, especially, you know, right here in our city. That was very. And one thing I gleaned from that, especially knowing a lot of people, that been through that, grandmas and all this here, is that now grandma realized her relationship with God. So you gotta realize, even in the marriage, and I tell y'all this all the time, I do not cheat on my wife because I love her so much and all this, and she'll kill me. The main thing is, I forgot we can't use
Unalive.
Unalive me. The main thing that I'm afraid of, I fear, is God. And that's what grandma taught us. Grandma said that it don't matter what a person does and what they do. The main thing matters about my life is what I do. And I tell people all the time, it's not that about a person cussing you out, but it's how you respond to it. Because God is going to handle you on how you respond. Because he said, vengeance is mine, said the Lord, I shall repay. So I don't have to respond to things that God already done dispatched. But now if I respond to it how they want me to respond to it, he coming for both of us. You feel what I'm saying? So grandma realized, hey, now I'm in this thing. Get what? You go ahead and do you. I'm gonna do me, but I'm gonna do me how God want me to do me. And believe it or not, I'm gonna get blessed out of all this, because when soon Papa dead, grandma got everything. Soon that go on, Papa still was paying the bills and stuff. But that's what took place, and that's reality in our life. That's reality. We deal with it, man. Y'all, we deal with it. But realizing, man, let me hold on now. I got a relationship with God for myself, so I gotta face judgment. Granddaddy gonna face judgment for what he did, and grandma gonna face judgment. Like we all, I'm gonna face judgment for what I do, and she gonna face judgment for what she do. So at the end of the day, yeah, we together and all this, but understand, I'm gonna treat you the way God told me to treat you, because I gotta face God. So when you make that covenant, even if your spouse is not even operating the covenant, you still do the covenant. I think it was white girl Tasha asked last week, how do you submit to somebody who don't, like, the leadership ain't there? And because you do your part, you live in front of them. You show them what a godly person is. You show them how to, because in your showing, you are building. And that's why, especially as a wife, you are a helpmeet. So you help me get better. And by helping me, you showing me a way that I never seen before. Because a lot of men, if you let be told, the downfall of a lot of men is how they was raised. But and I wouldn't even say a downfall, is a handicap, because they was raised in the best way they mom and them knew how. A lot of us came up single parent. A lot of them came up with a sometimey daddy. A lot of us, and some of us had daddy and all, but we was brought up in the way we was brought up. So now I need to be shown the most excellent way, especially for those who ain't been brought up with examples of marriage. A lot of us are the most productive marriage our families ever saw. Your marriage alone is the most productive marriage your whole family has ever saw. That's why a lot of them try to talk you out of it. That's why a lot of them don't even bubble with you no more, because your production is shining the light of their unproduction, or they lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? So realizing that, man, they didn't have it. So we as men, we need that. We need that help. That's why God gave it to you, gave us to you, or gave you to us, because we need that help. We need you to show us a new way. We need you to show you. We need that communication skills, because we communicate differently. We need to understand how to be able to do this and do that. That's what you're here for. You're here to help us be better. And that's the great thing. So to death do us part, for richer or for poor, for better or for worse, sickness and in health. Did you make a covenant? Did you really make a covenant, or was you up there just having a conversation? I challenge us to go back and read your vows.
I just was about to say.
Go back and read and really study your vows. And think about what y'all going through, because you're going through something. Because every marriage have tasks and challenges. And you can have the most godly marriages and still go through stuff.
Absolutely. It's a choice. Every day you got to say, I choose you.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it get hard, you got to just say, I choose you. I choose us.
I choose us.
I choose us. That's
choose ye this day who you going to serve.
And be questioning yourself. Am I keeping my covenant, or I'm breaking it because I'm uncomfortable? Because you're going to have some uncomfortable moments.
The covenant, it never says it's going to be comfortable.
It doesn't. You're going to have some uncomfortable moments. So every day is a choice that I'm going to choose my covenant.
But
choose my vows.
I want to ask you this, since you brought it up. Yes, ask you.
Okay.
What makes it uncomfortable? What makes it?
What makes
Now, like you say, be uncomfortable, like situations that things happen.
situations do?
What
Because
makes
it's
it?
easier. Like uncomfortable means something that I don't like. I disagree with. I
Mm-hmm.
dislike. It makes
Mm-hmm.
me feel uncomfortable, and the easiest way is to skip out.
Right. So,
Um,
and the reason I brought it up because we talk about this like every day, but we had a conversation last night, and you know we were talking about how we want things our way. So the reason why things be uncomfortable is because you want it your way.
Well, we talked about that last week.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, but I want to bring it back together. I
I
said we
got you.
talked
Bring
about
it
it.
back together.
We bring it
Oh,
back together,
bring
but
it
we
back
talk
together.
about. But now it's going hand in hand. What makes it uncomfortable? Why is things so uncomfortable? Because you want it your way. Once it goes back to it, it won't be uncomfortable if you think about us and stop just thinking about you. It won't be uncomfortable. Marriage don't have to be hard when you realize it's two and not one.
That's right.
Marriage is not hard
But
at
we're
all.
becoming one.
It's not hard. When you take your feelings out of it, when you take what you think, well, I think this ain't, it ain't about what you think. God ain't asked you to think. God ain't asked us to do no thinking. He said, follow instructions. The blueprint is there. God has given us a blueprint for our life. If he wanted your thoughts, he'll give it to you. He said, I know the plans I have for you, good and not of evil, to bring you nowhere in the world. He says he know your plan. No, he said, I know the plans I have for you. And that's your marriage. So what you thinking about, God done laid it out. See, the issue become hard when you make it about you and not about what it's supposed to be. Right. Marriage is not hard. Marriage is not a challenge. Life is not that. It becomes hard when you want to do it your way. And that's believing, that's church, faith, everything. It's not hard when you just follow instructions. The issue becomes when you can't be a good follower. That's the everything about your life, from marriage to kids, everything is in that word of God. Follow instructions. It's not hard, it becomes hard. When you think, I want to do it this way. Well, I think, man, who asked you to think? God done gave us the I know that sounded a little hard, but God done gave us. Now the struggle becomes his will and free will. That's a lot of things we deal with. But we just want to come on today because we are a little pressed for time. My wife done got up, so that's the signal. The production has signaled us that it's time for us to go. I'm so proud of my wife today. She has her first outing and panel discussion about marriage and things today with the dope ministry, the dope. I just know they dope. Um, and so she gonna be going out. She had to be there in about 30 minutes to share with a group of women about marriage. It's an awesome thing, and we applaud her. Um, that she's gonna do a great job. And I pray that you all pray for her as she, go before the people and give marriage. The same thing we talk about here. She gonna say it there. So, but any questions, any comments, anything, please put it down at the bottom. Understanding and go back. We challenge y'all. Go back this week. Read your covenant and think and really pray and talk to your spouse. Communicate and say, now, is this a conversation? Or did we really go into covenant? This is because God looked at it as a covenant. But did you look at it as just a conversation? Because we all dressed up and we dancing and we ready for the bus stop and all that. Because a lot of us, our mind was on the reception the whole time, never on the marriage or the covenant part. You realize when you plan the wedding, the main thing you plan for the reception. You'll spend some time, but it's not. You spend more time on the reception than you do the ceremony, and that becomes an issue because the ceremony is the most important part. So my prayer today that we truly understand the covenant. Your marriage will be a whole lot better, whole lot safer, more understandable when you really understand your covenant.
And I challenge y'all this week to ask your spouse. I'm back here, y'all. But I'm just not in the camera. Do you feel loved by me or cherished by me? I challenge y'all to ask y'all spouse. Men ask the wives and wives ask the women. Do you feel loved by me or cherished by me? And then, according to the answer, then ask, what can I do this week to make you feel treasured? So that's what I just want y'all to take that time to understand, to love and cherish your spouse.
Love and cherish your spouse.
Go follow us, follow us, follow us
Please
on all
subscribe,
those.
like and share this. Let's get my prayer. Let's get at least 20 shares today off
20, you was
this.
just we need
100.
share
Give us
100. We do it,
1,000.
yeah. It's just share,
A
share, share.
thousand
Follow,
shares.
follow, follow. Even if you like, and those who
And,
on TikTok, tap them hearts,
right.
tap, tap, tap. Y'all know how to tap that
And
screen.
tag the marriage folk in your
Yeah.
church and your community. Tag all the marriage folk so we can really, because our prayer and goal is that we truly touch people's lives with marriage. And this is an awesome thing that God is doing. But make sure you check your covenant. Check your covenant and pray and ask those questions.
God bless y'all.
And she's going to
We
write
thank you for those
them
who have
questions
been
in the thing.
applying what we've been telling y'all and testing it out in your marriage, and it's working for you all. Our
Yes.
blessings, our prayers are with each couple, each marriage, that God continue to bless you all.
Yes.
We love y'all. We out.
Crazy. Gotta hit one about one.